and welcome to Soul Symbols. My name is Shelley. I'm a writer, an astrologer, and a card reader, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. Happy Saturday. It is the weekly energy card reading, and what that is it's where you, the viewer, get to choose from one of 3 tarot or oracle decks, and we'll go through and do a quick spread to see what the general energies will be like for the next 7 days. It does not need to be the week of June 26th through July 3rd, 2021, in order for the messages to resonate. If you come across this reading at any time, there may be nuggets of information contained. We have a saying in card reading. We say take what resonates and leave the rest. And we're just interpreting symbols. So if you feel like a message is not resonating, you do not need to take it. You can just leave it at the wayside, and it might be a message for someone else. Now, before we get started, I'm feeling a little under the weather today, guys. I'm so sorry. I've in the past, if you follow my channel, I've got a little bit of a tender tummy, and today was not a good day. I was having a little bit of some stomach ailments, and it's a little bit ironic because I'm filming this on the day of the full moon in Capricorn. And when the moon is full in Capricorn, it's opposite the sun in Cancer, and Cancer rules the stomach, right? It rules the womb and the stomach, and believe it or not, everything that happens in your tummy, it really pertains to important functions of what's represented by Cancer. So I thought that was really interesting. The other thing is that both the sun and the moon are at 3 degrees. So the sun is at 3 degrees Cancer, the moon is at 3 degrees Capricorn, and my Mercury, it kind of squares my mouth, squares my Mercury, and it opposes and conjuncts my Jupiter. So anytime you have transit in the sky that's making contact, like a square to your mouth, it's almost kind of like your own personal Mercury retrograde. You might, be at a loss for words, or not that articulate, or just, a little like spacey. And then anytime it squares, or anytime it opposes or makes contact to your Jupiter, that's a little bit of blunt speech. Like it's kind of the aspect of that sounded better in my head before it came out my mouth. It's a little bit of the foot and mouth kind of transit. So with all that going on and me having a rough tummy, I'm going to do my best. Please bear with me. I really appreciate it. I am kind of slugging through the day today, and I'm drinking my tea. I'm just going to take a sip of tea, and I've got my good old herbal licorice tea. And believe it or not, licorice tea is so good for the stomach. It really, it's natural, and it helps you feel better quick. But all right, enough blabbing about me. It is a full moon, so that's the culmination of a cycle, and it was a strawberry moon, so it was really, really beautiful. But we've gone ahead, and I've pulled out 3 decks that we haven't seen in a while. The first deck is the Witch's Tarot by Dugan, and on top of it we have a beautiful agate cat. The second deck we have is the Linestrider Tarot by Siolo, Thompson, and we have a beautiful blue fluorite. And then the last deck we have is the White Sage Tarot by Theresa, Hutch, and on top of it we have a beautiful Shiva shell. And here we go. See, personal Mercury retrograde, if I could say that 3 times fast. I was kind of drawn, I was listening to my Rice Krispies here, and I wanted to pull out the fashion cards. And I know that sounds crazy. This is a fashion deck. It's a deck with different fashion designers, but it has some like great quotes on it. And so that's the fashion oracles. And then on top of it is a beautiful volcanic red quartz. Red quartz. But all right, guys, I'll go ahead and give you a minute. If you like any of the decks, the name and authors of all the materials I used are in the description box. I ask that you please choose from your intuition. If you need more time, please pause the video, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, we're back. Let me go ahead and move this up. And again, as I said in the intro, I'm moving a little slow today, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying. It's amazing how you just, it really knocks you out. It makes you go slow. All right, so deck number 1, The Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan with our beautiful little agate cat. So let's go ahead and see. Deck number 1, what's your energy for the week? What's our energy? So let's, beginning of the week, please. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go with that one. Oh, wow. Seeing a lot of moon scenes here, guys. And end of the week, please. That's way too many cards. We'll go with the top one. And do we have any clarifiers? I think that little cat is so cute. Oh, look at that. Okay, we got 4 swords. Got a lot of cards about like needing to rest, guys. So a lot of like some activity here. Oh, that came right out. Oh, that's really cool, guys. I like that. And actually, there's some synchronicities in the imagery, too. Alright, guys, so beginning of the week, this is really interesting energy, and again, this is kind of starting over the weekend. One other thing to bear in mind is that if you're in North America, if you're in the United States, in the US, towards the end of the week, we are going to be going into like a holiday weekend. The following Monday is Independence Day, so we'll definitely keep that in mind as we're reading. But over the weekend, I really get the sense that I'm getting the sense like you're going to be a little bit kind of awake at night. I think that you're kind of worrying about, you're either worried about some kind of message, some kind of communication that you got about money. This could be if you're a parent or a mom. It could be a little one who needs money to do something, and it might kind of have you up at night, kind of just worrying about how you're going to get this together. One other way I can read it is if you're not a parent, sometimes this can just be, kind of, you know how sometimes you just can't sleep. It's like 3 a.m. in the morning and you're tired, but you can't get your mind to slow down. But the Nine of Swords definitely is more of a anxiety kind of card. If this was a different combination, sometimes this could be seen as like the Page of Pentacles is about learning how to do something, right? It's about getting a plan, right? And that's what I'm kind of getting from this energy. I get the sense that you're kind of, you know how when you ruminate, you go in circles, you kind of, anytime you have a problem in your head that you need to solve, what do? You run through all the possible scenarios until you get to a probable solution. Now, the problem is when you're worried about something that doesn't seem to have like a easy solution, what do? You go through that same loop of, okay, well, I need to pay this bill, but I don't have the money right now. It's due by this time. What am I going to do? And then you end up back at the beginning, right? It's kind of like that hamster wheel of worry. And that's what I'm kind of seeing here. I do see that you're trying not to worry about it, because that's the other thing. None of us want to be up at night doing this, This was actually me last night with a upset tummy. It's like 3 in the morning and you want to go to sleep, but you just can't. It's like you can't turn your mind off. But one other thing that I can kind of get from this is that the Page of Pentacles is a very positive card too. When you look at it, there's so much green and it looks so abundant, right? So what I could also be getting from this is that maybe there's some kind of new start in money that you want to have. Like you want to, maybe you want to start saving money, or maybe there's some kind of goal that you have in mind. But it's really keeping you up. And even if this isn't at night, but I'm really getting an at night feel, because even in the middle of the week, we've got more of that nighttime energy, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But it's like I get the sense like you're worrying, or you're kind of putting your mind through the paces of figuring out how you're going to start something, and that's financially related. This could be one financial endeavor, like maybe you say, okay, I want to save up enough money to do this, or maybe it's a bill. The other thing is that pages are messengers, so sometimes it could be a bill that you got for something. And again, if you have a little one, it could be a bill that you see how happy this little girl looks. So it could be anything. Maybe your child really wants to take up cheerleading, but you have to pay for a really expensive cheerleading outfit, and it's just not a good week for that, right? Kind of stuff like that. But here I get the sense, I am getting like a rumination kind of vibe. Like you're just kind of going in circles and circles because you really want to solve this problem. You really want to solve this problem. You also, I get the sense like you want to start, it's like you're worried about how you're going to start some kind of financial goal. And I get the sense like you want to do it the right way. Now, by the middle of the week, you got the Eight of Cups, and you see, and this is interesting, this is another young girl that's walking away. And you see how she's kind of following the stars. Now, one thing I kind of see here, there's very serene water, and this is a really beautiful rendition. First off, it's another young woman. So, this could be you. You could be, I think what you could be doing is you might be worrying a little bit about money, but that you have to, I get the sense like you have to walk away from some kind of situation. I am going to get one clarifier, please. Ooh, okay. Take it upside down. Ah, okay. It's the High Priest or the Hierophant upside down, which, I get the strong sense that you want to, I know this sounds kind of funny, guys, you kind of want to get away from some kind of oppressive environment. And by the middle of the week, you might actually be walking away from it, at least emotionally. But, the High Priest in the upright talks about, like, the status quo, like, it can be a work environment, it can be, the High Priest really talks about, like, social structures, like, this could be cliques, it could be groups of friends, but when I see the High Priest in the reverse, it's almost like that's kind of the, in the upright, that's the sanctity of a religion, right? You believe something that's good and gives you structure. When you see it in reverse, it's almost like whatever this is doesn't give you structure, and I get the sense like whatever environment or whatever emotional situation is just kind of bossing you around. It's making you feel restricted. It's not liberating you. The other thing I kind of get is like you feel like you have to live by somebody else's rules, and you're kind of done with that. Now, sometimes this can be a work environment, maybe you're just not happy where you are and you're kind of worried, okay, how am I gonna achieve my financial goals? How am I gonna, pay my bills if I don't have this? But I do almost get a little bit more of emotional because this is the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups is like, okay, I've invested, I've waited, you see how neatly stacked all the cups are. It's like, okay, I've sat here doing the same old. The other thing, there we go, that's another big meaning, ding, ding, ding. The Hierophant is the status quo. You've always done the same thing the same way, and you've gotten the same result. And what happened? You were sitting there looking at, 8 cups pristinely stacked, and you're not growing, right? You're not growing. So the High Priestess in the reverse not High Priestess, High Priest or Hierophant in the reverse can also mean about shaking things up, bucking the system. And I kind of sense that, the irony is that this woman is this young girl, and again, you might feel like you're a novice at what you're doing. Like you might feel like you're starting off and you don't know where you're going, but you're charting your destiny by the stars, right? And now one thing I will say is that now that we are in kind of summer, you see in the background of all the swords, you see how she doesn't see there's a crescent moon in the background of the swords, but she doesn't even see it because all the thoughts are in the way. But by the middle of the week, you're looking at that same crescent moon. And just for the record, if it is by Thursday of next week, I think that's like July 1st, or however it resonates, Thursday of the week that's coming up that this reading's for. Um, if you're watching this at the time it posts, next Thursday is going to be the moon is going to be right at that stage. Right now it's full, and then it's going to go into a gibbous, and then it's going to go into a last quarter. This is a last quarter moon. It's getting dark again because it's about to be a new moon. So I get the sense like you, by the middle of the week, the other thing is that I get with it being like the 1st of July, you might spend some time outside. You might stand on a porch, or if you are going to the beach, because this definitely looks like a beach kind of scene. I'm seeing a lot of water here. Water or a lake. You know, maybe you go to a lake for, you know, the holiday celebration. But I see, have you ever, during the summertime, and I absolutely love it, it's so funny, I'm so cheesy, I have this candle, it's by Yankee Candle, it's called Midsummer Night's Dream, and of course that's a Shakespeare play, but it smells so good, and it really does smell like a midsummer's night, and sometimes I light that candle in the middle of winter when I'm craving, you know, like when I'm missing summertime. But you know, the dippers in the sky, like the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper, they actually dip. And what it is with the turning of the Earth on its axis, the dippers look like they're spinning in the sky. I'll try to put a illustration so you can see it, but they kind of rotate, and it looks like it's dipping. There's like a square, there's an arched handle, and then there's like 4 stars that look like the dipper part. But in the middle of the week, guys, I think that you're either going to be walking near water. Maybe if you are visiting the beach for the holiday, or maybe you're already at the beach in preparation for the holiday weekend, or near a lake, you're going to be like, I think you're really going to be ready to walk away from something that has been very stagnant for you emotionally. This could be a family relationship, it could be a job, it could be I'm not seeing so much a romantic relationship, but sometimes the Hierophant can definitely mean marriage or a long-term commitment. But what I kind of see and what I see here is that you feel like a child walking away. You don't know what's ahead of you. I am thinking of that Martin Luther King Jr. quote where he says, you know, faith is not seeing the whole staircase, but still taking the first step. So it is almost like, and you see how she's taking that first step, and it is almost like she almost looks like the same girl here. You know, it's like maybe you're afraid to walk away from a stagnant situation because you think you might not have enough money, or you might not know, okay, if I have to move, where will I go? But in the middle of the week, I think you're tired of outdated. You know what? I have another really great deck that's called Messages from the Divine Masculine, and in one of those cards it says something like, I'm tired of the old scripts, or I'm tired of the old paradigms. You know, like I'm tired of the same rules. The same rules just leave me feeling like I have no life. Right? And the other thing is that I'm getting a strong sense, like, and it's almost, I almost get the sense, guys, that you are going to be seeing the dippers this week. And please tell me, believe me, you know, I have a daily, another deck that I use is the self-care cards by DejaDrewit, and I use them on the daily, and there is one card in there that says Stargaze, and I'll tell you guys, I pull that card. I pull one card for self-care every day, and there was one time that I pulled that for the following day's energy, and I thought, oh, I won't be outside. I'm not going to be looking at the sky. I've got this and this and this to do. I won't. And guess what, guys? I left something out in my car. I had to go out, and it was the clearest, prettiest sky, and the moon was full, and I was like, oh my gosh. Look at this, the card was right? And I'll tell you, that happens a lot. There's a lot of times I pull these cards, and I post them. I need to be better. I'll post them more on Instagram. But please tell me if sometime this week you are out looking at the stars and you happen to see a dipper, a little one, a big one, you know, a big spoon, little spoon, sorry, that brought back a memory. But if you see that in the sky, I think you're going to be, again, I think you're taking, like, you're walking away from some kind of stagnant situation. And the other thing is I'm getting a little bit of a, whatever it is that you're walking away from seems a little oppressive. Like, I feel like someone's, like, kind of imposing rules on you, and you're ready to just be like, I don't, you're not the boss of me. No. It's like you're ready to throw off that convention. There we go, convention. But maybe you are walking. I think water is going to be very soothing for you, because that actually transitions right into the end of the week. By the end of the week, guys, this is really great. I am seeing, like, I get a sense like you're emotionally walking away from something that might also be like a physical situation. It's almost like in your heart, that you're already gone. Maybe your stuff and your body is still there. Maybe you have to walk away from someone and also have to move out, but you still living together, or you're still in the job for right now, but you're that you're in your heart and soul, you're already gone, right? But but it's nothing to be sad about. I really get, the other thing I get is that you're kind of following your inner compass, like you're following what you're guided to do. And again, you're just going to put one foot in front of the other. Now, by the end of the week, this is great, guys. You got the Two of Wands, and you see how he has a globe, and you see how we're still seeing this like body of water, guys. You see how similar that is? Tell me that's not like a synchronicity, except you're not looking at it at night anymore. And the other thing is that the Two of Wands is great. The Two of Wands is about making a choice. But again, it's more of this energy of, you see how one rod is bolted to the wall? Like he's up at the top of a mansion, right? He's come so far. He's at the top of a castle, but he's looking out with a rod in his hand about what he wants out in the world, right? Now, you might very well, like, by the end of the week, you've got a plan. And you see, it's almost like you're not even, I'm really getting a sense of surrender and release. Like at first you were worried about it, like you weren't seeing the stars because of all of your thoughts, like of all of your fears. And then you kind of let go, because you went from a Nine of Swords to an Eight of Cups. It's almost like, okay, let me go. And you emotionally kind of said, okay, this is stagnant. This is not moving. These cups have been sitting here for how long? And this is your life, right? So I think that you have a plan, right? By the end of the week, by the weekend, you kind of know where you want to go. And you can see it in the light of day, too. And you see how you kind of have your traveling clothes on, And look, oh, here you go, another synchronicity, guys. You see how both of these characters have cloaks on? Yeah, that's awesome. Now, what I am seeing is underneath we got the Hanged Man. And you see how under the above the Hanged Man there's a crow, and he's holding like a pentacle. Now, again, the Two of Wands is about making a choice. It's about choosing between two things. But one of the options you really, really want, right? Like it's almost like leaving everything that you've built up, because that's a theme here. You have something really built up. Like maybe you've really come so far in your job, but there's another opportunity that really excites you. Either that, or one other way I can kind of read this is if you are traveling for the holiday weekend, maybe while you are out, it's inspiring you. I love it. Anytime I go to the beach, I don't live too far from the beach. I can drive, like it's like a 3-hour drive. And sometimes when I get away, I imagine every mile on the speedometer as being 1 mile farther from my problems. So I am kind of getting an energy of that. Maybe you're ready for some kind of change. You really are kind of feeling like things are the same. I am getting kind of a stodgy, stuffy. You've been living under some kind of restrictions or rules that isn't living. And But you were worried about it. And then I think going on vacation or getting away, like actually getting out of that environment for a minute, kind of opened you up to what's possible. You know how sometimes just a simple trip to the beach or a trip to the lake, you see, you see the local restaurant in town and you're like, oh wow, wouldn't that be cool to own a restaurant? That would be great. I could, I think you're kind of opening up your imagination a little bit. Now, by the end of the week, you are still in Hanged Man energy, and the Hanged Man energy is divine discontent. It's about, oh my gosh, we got another synchronicity. Holy Toledo, guys. Okay, we'll get into that. But the Hanged Man is about being in an uncomfortable position, but seeing the higher wisdom of that, right? So again, I don't think that you can leave your tower yet, but at least you have an idea. Like you have the spark of a choice that you really think would give you the world, right? And I think by the end of the week, maybe you're coming back from vacation, or maybe you have all these new grand ideas, and you're deciding how you want to act on them, because the two is not, the two is having a decision but not acting on it yet, and the Hanged Man is, seeing the higher wisdom of an uncomfortable situation, right? So you are still going to be in a place of inaction. But again, you don't want, you are ready to go towards some kind of excitement, right? You're ready for new beginnings. Now, this is what had me giggling, guys, is that the card you got is Estee Lauder, and let me just tell you, I love Estee Lauder lipstick. And it's kind of neat. She's got two lipsticks on either side, and look at that. Doesn't that look like the Two of Wands? That's kind of cool. The other thing that I thought was real neat is that look at the hair on this guy and the halo. Look at that. And just for the record, just a little bit of background, Estee Lauder created all of her makeups at home. Like, she was like a stay-at-home mom, and she wanted to create something that was of service. Like, she didn't have a whole lot of money. She followed an idea, and look at, and she's like in every major department store now. But Estee Lauder, you can rule the world with a lipstick. There you go. A lady should be crease-free in her clothes and in fashion. Earn your daydreams. Wow, guys. Oh, see, that's so beautiful. You can rule the world with a lipstick. And look at that. You see how she's like an alchemist. She's creating things. And maybe you have some kind of idea for something. Just like she did. She created it. She started her business right out of her home. A lady should be crease-free in her clothes and in her fashion. That means no wrinkles. No wrinkles. And I am almost getting kind of crease-free from this. You know how when you've been laying in bed and tossing and turning, you get a bunch of wrinkles? Maybe she's like, don't be wrinkly. Don't worry. Get up and go do it. Get up and go do it. The other thing is earn your daydreams. Wow, guys. And maybe you are daydreaming about something. That's another Two of Wands kind of thing. The Hanged Man is maybe you're, again, maybe you do have very practical concerns. You have to think about, okay, how am I gonna afford things? Because of course you want to be practical. You can't just, and honestly, if you are so inclined, please check out the biography, or just go to Wikipedia and look up Estee Lauder. She really was a self-made woman. And look at how big she is now. That's amazing. Maybe that will give you some additional inspiration for your week. But wow, guys, oh my gosh, I loved that read. I always love these reads. But oh gosh. And I'm so glad my tea is kicking in. I'm feeling good. Actually, I'm going to take one more sip. I'm sorry. Licorice tea. All right, so deck number 2. I love this deck. I'm going to give it a quick shuffle, but this is the Linestrider Tarot by Siolo Thompson. I miss this deck. I need to purge. I love all my decks though. All right, so beginning of the week. This was kind of coming out on top, so we're going to go ahead and middle of the week, please. Oh gosh, guys, end of the week. Okay, can I have one clarifier for the Five of Pentacles? Just one, please. Oh, okay. I think the Hanged Man is going to be our common denominator, justice. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and get your oracle card. I go with this one because it was popping out. Oh, Alexander McQueen. How badass is that? Sorry, I hope I'm allowed to say that on YouTube. Pardon my French. Well, he's even cursing here too. Oh my gosh. Oh, synchronicity. I forgot he has a mouth like a sailor. He really does. All right, excuse me. I'm gonna cough. Oh my god, my tummy. Excuse me. Okay, one more sip of tea, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. It always kind of rips me up when I have tummy trouble. Okay, one more cough. Ow. Oh. Okay. So beginning of the week, this is interesting energy. Now, you got the Ten of Swords, and the Ten of Swords in this deck is always, the Ten of Swords is never a pretty card, but there are no bad cards in tarot, and if you ever get a chance, I have a series here on my channel called How to Tarot. You can always, pull it up, and it's good if you feel like a particular card is really showing strongly in your read. If you ever want more information, please check it out, because a lot of these meanings have a lot of duality to them. So it doesn't mean that anything, nasty is going to happen to you in the beginning of the week. But the Ten of Swords is definitely a painful card, because it looks like, you see 10 swords. And what it is what's so sad about this card is that, the stag is such a majestic animal, and it's a leader. And here, a lot of times when hunters hunt stags, one bullet is enough, right? Because they want to keep the body pristine so they could, put it on their wall or something. Here, and you know what? This is really playing into this, guys. I do get the sense, like, what I'm kind of feeling is the Ten of Swords is also kind of like that last straw kind of card. I kind of see the Ten of Swords when, sometimes when you have those situations in life where you keep going back to a situation that has hurt you, or keep going back to a person or a job that's not treating you right. And what happens, you see how there's like 10 different, sharp objects. They're not even all the same type of sword, right? It's like, it's different sources of pain. But what I'm getting from this is I am almost getting kind of like a business vibe. I think that Three of Swords, oh my gosh, guys. Okay, one more please to clarify. Eight of Cups. All right. Yeah, this is very clear, guys. I get the sense that I am getting the theme of like the stag being kind of like the leader, being kind of like the patriarch. I am kind of feeling, I'm getting kind of a masculine vibe from this pile, guys. I'm not going to lie. It is statistically proven that a majority of watchers of tarot on YouTube it's like 98% feminine. But, energy is energy, so take it as it resonates. If you are a guy watching this, I get the sense that the one thing I kind of get from this is with the stag, and male or female, stags are the leaders of their pack, right? They're the leaders, they're the patriarchs of their family. And what I'm kind of getting here is I'm getting a sense, and this could be family related, where you've really been the leader, like you've been the person to go out and, also this could be business related. If you are some kind of leader in your group, what I'm kind of getting here is a lot of times if it's stags are so majestic and beautiful. If you're hunting one to put one on, put that stag head on your wall, you're not trying to mutilate the body. Here I'm seeing mutilation. I'm seeing that it's like, you got stabbed once and you kept going, and then you got stabbed again and kept going. And it's almost like, and with it being kind of different objects, I'm wondering if if you either feel like you got betrayed or stabbed or taken advantage of by several different groups, or I kind of see this as a little bit of the fall guy card, you know. Sometimes that can happen in business. Maybe you're the head of a group or a team, manager of a department, you know. It's kind of that throw you under the bus card, right? And when I went to clarify, I got the Three of Swords and I got the Eight of Cups. So that kind of tells me, like, okay, um, you know, someone could have, you know, did you dirty or did a double time and kind of left you to take the fall. If this is family related, you know, two people might have ganged up on you, you know, like, you know, you could feel like, okay, I thought I was being the leader for everyone. And then, you know, two people of your family kind of come in and really kind of stab you. But I don't want you to be afraid. I think you'll know exactly, because this is 10 swords. This is not one. You know what it's. I am getting kind of that feeling like he kept going back for more, and that's not. Believe me, we all got jackets for that club. Every single one of us ever watching a reading has had a 10 of swords moment, and it's almost like you should have known that you were going to get stabbed in the back or thrown under the bus or whatever. You know, but I am getting almost like kind of a leadership vibe here. Like maybe you were trying to do the right thing for a group, or you were trying to lead your department, and, you know, someone let you take the fall for something. And maybe it's not the first time that someone's done that. Maybe someone tried to blame you for something, but this is very much like the last straw, because the other thing is that the Three of Swords is like painful separation. It's like a fresh wound. So something occurs like kind of recently, and the thing is that you're kind of juggling finances because of it, right? So I mean, in a marriage sense, just to throw it out there, you might be the breadwinner, and your person might like have run off with someone else and left you kind of handling or juggling the burden of their finances. Um, or if this is more like a work thing, um, I definitely get the sense like somebody was really left to take the fall, and it was a very fresh sting. I think this is something that has happened recently, but I think you're aware of what the source is. And it's something that you're kind of emotionally walking away from. Yeah, Page of Swords, the Magician. Yeah, you might, the other thing is you might be seeing this person online. But I do see that, I know it sounds kind of funny. It's almost like you're left to take the fall, and you're juggling finances to try to keep things. You might be juggling finances for some kind of family purpose, but you feel like you've just been left to be the, you know, like, again, you don't, you were trying to be noble and do the right thing, and you just totally got mutilated for it. And I'm so sorry, guys. I hate that kind of energy. I really do. And I kind of see that it's almost like you're watching other people kind of, you know, you're taking responsibility and doing what you need to do. The other thing I get is with the Two of Pentacles, it really is kind of like a juggler. Like it's almost like you have to keep moving. You can't let either thing drop. Yeah, I'm getting a strong feeling like you feel like someone made a fool of you as well. Like you were trying to do the right thing, and they just kind of like they kind of put you threw you under the bus, and you're left juggling. You know, you're left in the aftermath. I do also kind of get the thing like you might be communicating with however this went down. I think you might be communicating with someone via text. Um, and I get the sense that you feel like this other person's manipulative. Like with the Magician. Yeah, I'm sorry, I keep checking. Judgment. Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. it's a little bit of a wake-up call, guys, and I'm sorry. That's crappy energy. But I don't think it would be a surprise, and I do think that you're walking away from that pain, which is very good. You know, you got the Eight of Cups, which is, it's you know, the Eight of Cups is not throwing your arms in the air and sobbing. It's like, okay, I've had enough of this. I've invested enough emotionally. This is bringing me nothing but grief. You know, throw up the deuces, have a nice life. But I just, what hurts me about this energy is that I think that you were trying to be, I think you were trying to be honorable. You were trying to be honorable, and it's, you feel like someone took advantage of that. And now they've left you looking kind of foolish, like the juggler, you know, like, but the good thing about the Two of Pentacles is that you are keeping in step, right? Like you're not letting anything drop. You're not letting anything fall. But, I do feel like you've been taken advantage of. But the other thing about the Ten of Swords is it's usually the last time. It's the last time. And the other thing was with that Three of Swords and the Eight of Cups, I think you're really ready to walk away. The Magician can also talk about manifesting new things, like taking what you have and turning it into something else. I am hearing that phrase, what is it? When you evolve from one thing, I'm sorry, there's a Lenormand card, excuse me. When you blend, when you start, transitioning from one kind of crappy position into another, I feel like that's what that juggling's about. Now, by the middle of the week, you've got the Hanged Man, and you got crowned by the Five of Pentacles. In all of these cards, guys, I'm seeing very majestic animals in very kind of awkward, almost captured positions. I think you might feel a little left out in the cold, a little bit isolated. Definitely financially, yeah, Nine of Swords. Like, I think you're worried. Eight of Cups again. Yeah, I think you're very worried about, you're just kind of feeling like you're not going to be able to make ends meet. Magician again. The other thing I see is, especially with these crutches, you might have some kind of, this financial thing might have to do with some kind of medical bill. Maybe you were stuck with a medical bill. Maybe you still aren't feeling real good. But the other thing I'm kind of getting is, with all this stress, all of the Swords cards are very, very stressful. Like, I think the most peaceful card of the Sword suit is the Six, and even that one is not like, it's not like you're kicking your feet up in Tahiti or anything. You're slowly rowing. But what I kind of see here is that kind of anxiety, especially with it being all swords, that can make you sick real quick. Because when you start, the other thing is all that juggling, maybe the Two of Pentacles can mean working two jobs as well. So maybe you're feeling kind of worn out. Maybe you're stressed out. This situation alone would really kind of impact your immune system, because when you're worrying and when you've gone through any type of swords moment, it really kind of it makes you a little bit more vulnerable physically. The other thing I kind of get is that I'm getting kind of like a left out in the cold vibe. The other thing that I get, again, with all these, because these are beautiful, majestic animals, and they're all tied up and awkward, and I know this sounds funny, guys, but you might actually have you ever, I know all of us have been there, that day after a breakup, or especially if something was real public, like if someone, did something crappy and like broke up with you on the internet or something. You know how the next day you kind of feel like this woman, like you just don't have the energy to look good, because you feel kind of broken, right? And it's like that. I just don't have the energy to try to put my hair up or put makeup on or try to pretend like I'm okay, right? That's kind of the energy I'm getting from this. It could either be legitimate illness, like you're feeling crappy, like you're feeling under the weather. The other thing I get is that I am kind of getting like almost like a physical, like, did you kind of hurt your knee or hurt something about this person kind of juggling from foot to foot, and then the next scene they're just kind of like on crutches, like, okay, I just, you know, maybe you twisted an ankle or something. I don't think that's going to happen this week. I just think that, it's like, let me not have to, prance about, but I do see this person, it's like she's dignified, even with wearing, shabby clothes, she's dignified, but I think that you probably don't have a whole lot of money. Maybe you are feeling physically under the weather, whether that be just feeling out of sorts or just not able to face what's been going on here. The other thing I get is the Hanged Man, and we talked about this in the first deck, is about divine discontent. It's about being in an uncomfortable situation, but seeing the higher purpose of it. Like, you're still in the uncomfortable situation. Like the Three of Swords, Ten of Swords, that just occurred recently, so you're not out of the woods yet. But, again, if someone kind of took advantage of you, maybe they made you look foolish, or they took your money, or it's almost like you're kind of sitting in the poop a little bit, right? And that's an uncomfortable position. The other thing I get is that I think you are a very beautiful person. I think you're a very dignified person. I think when this kind of crap isn't happening to you, you look like a regal leader. But it's like, again, you kind of got caught. You ever see those cartoons with the booby traps with the little rope, and you step one foot into it, it loops, it grabs your one foot, and then hoists you up into the tree, and you're like, oh God, okay, I'm in a predicament now, right? So if you were on your feet, that's also what I'm hearing. If you were on your feet, I'm seeing a lot of feet imagery too. Like, here you're kind of, going from foot to foot, and here you're on crutches. So, yeah, guys, there might have been something that kind of took a blow or tried to take a blow to you financially. Justice tried to come out too, so this could be, yeah. This could be someone who's trying to take a cut of something. But in the middle of the week, you might feel a little down and out. I am getting a little bit more physical vibe. I am also getting like possibly a medical bill, like a medical bill that you're worried about. But the other thing about the Hanged Man is, like, you can kind of see the situation from a new light. I do also think that you're probably, if you are feeling like whatever's been going on, you're probably feeling a little worn out, and you're probably not like on social media in the middle of the week. Right? Like, you're in this uncomfortable ass situation. You might be a little short on funds because of it. You might be feeling crappy because of it. And someone may have made you look foolish. But I also promise you, honey, that even if you are crying into a pint of hot Haagen-Dazs, wearing nothing but your bedroom, your sleep clothes, I think you still look beautiful. I think so, and I think I'm drawn to tell you that, because I've definitely had those moments where I think, God, I look a mess. I have no makeup on. I've been crying. You look at, like, even today, my stomach was not feeling good. I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my God, I can't even look at myself, right? But if you are in this energy, please look at yourself in the mirror and acknowledge that even at your worst, you are really beautiful. Because these are regal animals, guys. They're just in an uncomfortable situation. And Hanged Man is, you might be, by the middle of the week, you might feel like, okay, this is where I'm at. You're going to have a little bit of a sitting in the poop feeling, That's an expression, I'm sorry, that expression is a psychological expression when you're either grieving or you've been through something traumatic. They're uncomfortable feelings, especially when it's fresh. But what you have to do is you have to allot some time in order to kind of exercise what you've been through, kind of, get it out of your system, you do have to sit with those feelings a little bit. So, and it's not comfortable, and that's why they call it sitting in the poop, right? Sitting in the shit. You got to sit in it for like 20 minutes and really think about what happened and be like, okay, how did, maybe you have to ask yourself the uncomfortable questions like, how did this happen? How did I bring this on to myself? How can I make sure this doesn't happen to me again? So you're in this situation, but you're going to get better, right? Things will get better, but for right now, you're still in the booby trap. And I am getting like a booby trap. Like, did someone, try to trick you? Now, this is really kind of beautiful, guys. By the end of the week, this is really quite nice. First off, look at how many pairs are here. Okay, I'm going to hold these up so you can see. This is the Wheel of Fortune, but these are two, I forget the name of these birds, but they do mate for life, and you see how the two beaks cross over one another? They look like they're like one. And then you see the two cats head to head and the two hummingbirds. I think by the end of the week, again, these could be different areas of your life. So you might have something work related or family related. And then by the middle of the week, you're still kind of handling it. By the weekend, I really get the sense, and I'm getting like, the Wheel of Fortune talks about destiny and kismet. And with this many pairs, the crown of this is the Two of Cups. And actually in this card it looks like the ace. It looks like one cup here with two people. But I get the sense that by the weekend, the way that you're gonna get away from all of this crappy ass feeling energy is, I'm sorry, I'm cursing a lot in this. I think it's the Alexander McQueen. We're about to get to him. And oh wow, guys, there's some birds in this picture too. We'll have to get to that. But there's some naked bits too. But this channel's over 18. I think what's going to happen is by the end of the week, you're really going to be connecting with someone that you feel is like your counterpart. I'm getting strong romantic vibes here. I'm getting like lovey-dovey vibes. Magician. Okay. It's quite possible, guys, that maybe this situation kind of opens you up to manifesting something that, because you see how we've talked so much about, you see one person getting stabbed in the back, having to walk away from something. By the end of the week, you see how in tandem all this is. These two birds look like they are two birds of a feather. These two cats, and actually I can kind of tell this is the female cat, this is the male cat, and the two hummingbirds. And I think hummingbirds mate for life as well. By the end of the week, you are going to be spending time with someone who will not betray you. And if this is work or family related, this could be your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, or just someone that you really trust implicitly. And it's almost like over the weekend, all of this feeling of needing to do things, having to go it alone, having to, being humiliated, feeling like you made some kind of foolish mistake. I think you're going to feel better because you're going to be with someone who is like your counterpart, someone that you can really trust. There's a great reader here on YouTube. Her name is Claire Summer. She's Lumiere Tarot, and she's so good. I love her accent too. She's beautiful. And she talks a lot about how love is not supposed to, love in relationships, whether that's business relationship, family relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, assign the genders as you will. They're supposed to be supportive. You're not supposed to worry when you're in the right relationship, right? When you're in the right relationship, it's not going to be perfect. Like, it's not going to be like a Disney movie, but you're not going to have this kind of anxiety in the right relationship. Claire Summer always uses a really great word. She uses the term nourishing. Nourishing. That's what relationships are supposed to be. It's not supposed to be you worrying about why someone didn't text you back. What did they mean when they said this? Why do I keep going back for more when I know this person doesn't treat me right? When you're with the right person, they are there for you, right? And they give you that safe place. They're like looking in the mirror, right? And the Wheel of Fortune is such a positive card because this is major arcana. So what I'm getting from this, guys, is I don't think if you're single, I'm not saying that you're going to meet Miss, Princess or Prince Charming this weekend or anything. But what I'm seeing here is you're going to have a moment of connectedness with someone who makes you feel emotionally nourished. Someone who feels like they're your other half. And I feel like, you know what, I've seen this happen with the Wheel of Fortune, especially in a weekly read. I've had those craptastic weeks where I feel like I'm alone in the world, no one understands me, I'm never going to make it, what am I going to do? And then it's amazing how right at my time of need, my best friend will call me and say, I was just thinking about you, let's hang out. And I'll open up to her and talk to her, and she'll give me a big hug, and she'll be like, we need to hang out more often. That's the Two of Cups energy. That's the Two of Cups energy. And I feel like the Wheel of Fortune is like saying, because Wheel of Fortune also rules karma. It rules karma. So what I kind of see here is that if someone kind of is making you feel betrayed, or if someone's kind of throwing you under the bus, and this could be different areas of your life, and you'll know what it's about. You have allies around you. You have allies around you. You have people who understand you, who are like looking in the mirror. There are people who are of your ilk, right? And again, you are a noble creature. You're coming up as like the stag, the tiger. Those are very brave, bold leaders. The other thing is that maybe you tried something at work and it failed, and it made you look foolish, or it made you look, the other thing I kind of get is there might have been some kind of loss. Sometimes I see the Two of Pentacles as kind of damage control, if one pentacle's down, the other one's up, like maybe you're trying to, get money back that was somehow lost. And I think you take it real personally, because the other thing is that you don't like, you pride yourself on doing the right thing. I don't think that you don't like to find yourself in that situation. Again, it's like the middle of the week is almost, I'm getting a strong sense of like not wanting to show your face. Like you're afraid to show your face. And that's terrible, guys. Seriously. Everybody makes mistakes, right? And that's how we learn. But the Wheel of Fortune, the thing I love about the Wheel of Fortune is because it talks about karma. When you have good karma, good comes back to you. So if something negative happened to you when you were trying to do the right thing, you have karmic brownie points. And that's what it's saying. And I promise you guys, the moment that you feel like you're at your lowest, and that's the Ten of Swords, you feel like rock bottom, Five of Pentacles is no picnic either, and we had the Three of Swords pop out, the universe will not let you sit in the poop very long. It will send you somebody to show you that you're not alone. And now here I am getting kind of like an opposite sex thing, but I am getting like you feel like this person is so alike. Like again, you're birds of a feather. You're like the two. Now this could very well be then that the universe sending in your person to cheer you up. But if it's not romantic, it could just be maybe it's a cousin or a brother or sister or a best friend. But here with this Two of Cups especially, it's like two. The other thing I'm hearing is two heads are better than one. So maybe the universe is sending in an ally. So that you're not alone, and the one thing about this, especially with the Two of Cups, is that in the traditional Rider-Waite Smith, it's one person reaching out and touching the other person's cup. So I think that if you've been feeling kind of low, there's going to be someone out there that it's almost like your feelings are reflected in one another, like you understand how each other feels. And I think that's something that you really need this week. But you're definitely going to be feeling it over the weekend. And again, if you're watching this at the time the video posts, and this is over the 4th of July weekend. So it's quite possible. That's the other thing, is that maybe the universe, because the Wheel of Fortune is saying that the other thing in the Wheel of Fortune is about a turn in fortune, like a turn for the better. So if you've been at the bottom of the wheel, it's turning in your favor. And I do think that you're going to have kind of a lovey-dovey weekend. And that's really wonderful. Maybe you actually get a chance to get away, or over the holiday weekend, you get a chance to kind of be around someone. The other thing I get is that it is a closing of a cycle. And just to do the astrology, let's see, Capricorn 10, 11. Yeah, so it'd be Aquarius. We're going to be looking at a Taurus kind of sky going into the weekend. The moon is going to be in Taurus, which is very stable. It's a very stable thing. But yeah, your luck is turning for the better. The other thing about the Wheel of Fortune is that's all those 4 signs that you see in the corners. They're all fixed signs, and those are the get it done signs. Like, it's done, finished, finito. Whatever's going to happen is going to be, done. Now, your card, you got Alexander McQueen, and what you saw is, there's some funny images on here, but in the corner you do see some bird imagery, and I just think that's so great, almost like the Wheel of Fortune there. And but this is kind of funny. I won't say the word, but it says F you. Fit should be as fit should be as exact as your attitude. Escape the expected. So, FU is pretty straightforward. Again, maybe someone did you dirty and you kind of came out juggling after it, but you didn't let everything hit the fan, but it might have made you feel a little foolish, and quite possibly maybe you even yelled that at somebody this week. That's possible. Or you might be kind of, with your actions, you might be kind of flipping someone the bird, by the look of it, this person or that situation had it coming. But Alexander McQueen is definitely very, he does things, like you even see his arms are crossed. He does things his way, and that's a very fixed sign kind of thing. You might be dealing with a fixed sign. The other thing I kind of get is that maybe you have to be flexible because someone else isn't being flexible, and you kind of had enough of it. That's the other thing, because we did have the 8 of Cups. Like, you're tired of the crap. There's no way, no other way forward but up. There's no other way back but up. So this is the last pain that you'll feel from this situation. But fit should be as exact as your attitude. So, that one's kind of interesting, because your attitude can sometimes change unless you have a very firm attitude, and that's definitely a fixed sign kind of thing. And escape the expected. So, maybe it's kind of telling you, maybe you expect a certain outcome, but the wheel is turning. And again, Wheel of Fortune is such a wonderful card. It means your luck is changing for the better, I've been listening to a lot of music, and I'm hearing, luck be a lady, But I think by the weekend, I think you're gonna have a really great weekend, and yeah, please let me know. Maybe escape the expected is maybe you need to get away a little bit. Again, if you feel like you've been humiliated, maybe you can get away and do something fun, and it might be kind of romantic. You might meet up with someone who you feel like is really your equal. All right, so deck number 3, the White Sage Tarot. Go ahead and see what's your energy for the week. 5 of Cups, 9 of Wands, okay. Middle of the week. Oh, the Lovers. Oh, that's so pretty. Knight of Swords. Got a lot of 9s here, guys. Hermit. Okay, let's go go ahead and get your fashion card. And again, this isn't like, you know, it's funny, all these decks are watercolor decks. I didn't really expect to go with the fashion cards, but I do what, you know, what my intuition tells me to do. I follow, I don't question it, and it's been real good. Never fails. Excuse me, tummy. Gosh. Okay, please clear one. One card, please. One card. Okay, if one doesn't fly out, I'll cut the deck. Let's go with this one. Oh, Jackie Kennedy. How cool is that? All right. Ooh, I'm seeing a theme here already. All right, guys. So beginning of the week, you got 2 9s. So definitely, you've got kind of like, I feel like you kind of come a long way, baby. Is kind of what I'm getting. Now, there are ribbons in each of these cards, and the ribbons are chakra based. So the rainbow ones are just, you know, kind of means all chakras, but. So the crown of your energy is you got the 5 of Cups, and with it you have the yellow ribbon, which is the solar plexus. Yeah, solar plexus, which is really about your sense of self. It's like your sense of self-esteem. And then here you've got the 5 of Cups. And the 5 of Cups is kind of interesting because usually the 5 of Cups you see 3 cups overturned and 2 that remain upright. And here you see 4 cups stacked on top of a cracked cup, right? And underneath it, you got the 9 of Wands, and wrapped around it is a kind of the pink ribbon or the red ribbon, which is the root chakra. I'm getting a strong family vibe here, guys. I have a feeling like maybe you feel like everybody kind of leans on you, or yeah, I get it like it's your energy. I feel like you're kind of like the crack. And you see how these other cups are just all like stacked on top of you? Like you're breaking from the weight of this, you know? The other thing is with the solar plexus, that's kind of like that's your sense of self. It's your sense of identity. Maybe you feel like you've really been emotionally supporting other people, and it's really starting to wear on you. Like you're really ready to break. The other thing I kind of get is that I'm just kind of getting a strong sense like you're not feeling connected to your group, to your tribe. That could be family, it could be coworkers. I'm honestly getting a little bit more of a family vibe here, guys. Like I get the sense like you feel like it's almost like you do a lot, but you feel like you feel like an empty, cracked cup. Like again, I just feel like you feel like everybody's kind of leans on you, right? And maybe that does play into your self-esteem. Like maybe you pride yourself on being able to take care of other people emotionally, but you know it's putting a lot of pressure on you. You know, you're one big cup, and then you've got these 4 smaller cups. So you know sometimes this can be a family pressure. And underneath it you have the 9 of Wands, and you see how it's one wand that's kind of holding off 8, right? And the 9 of Wands is really it's a card about being a little. It's about holding down the fort. It's like even though you're exhausted and you barely have enough energy left, you're going to continue. You're going to fight to the bloody end. Like you're not going to give up. It's like the I'm not going to give up card. But the other thing is it's a little bit of a paranoia card too. I do think that you're just a little bit kind of worn out. I think you're kind of worn out. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be a bad, like, family dynamic card, but the one thing about the 5 of Cups is that is a card of, like, crying over spilled milk, or, I don't really like that expression because that's not really, yes, sometimes the 5 of Cups can be about mourning for too long, right? Like if you lost somebody or lost a relationship and it's been a really long time and you can't get over it, or you don't want to get over it, that can be the crying over spilled milk kind of meaning. But here, I'm getting more of like, I'm getting like I'm hearing like all work and no play. Like it's like um there's a great movie by Jane Austen. It's the Sense and Sensibility. And there's a great BBC version that stars Hattie Monahan. And in that version, I think it came out in like 2008. It's like my favorite, all time favorite Sense and Sensibility. She has this great line. What is it? Yeah, not Marianne Dashwood, Eleanor Dashwood, who is the sweet, practical, loyal, hardworking Dashwood sister. She's very, very level headed, and she's in love with Edward Ferrars, but he had become betrothed to someone secretly like a long time ago, and he was obligated to that commitment. And she's Eleanor is knows that secret, like she knows what's going on, but she has to pretend like she doesn't know. And she knows herself to be separated from Edward forever, and she has to hold that inside, and it's just such a heavy burden. And what I think of is there's this one scene when she's finally confessing to Mary Ann all that's been going on, because people think that she has no feelings, that Eleanor has no feelings because she keeps everything, cool, calm, collected. But inside, her heart is breaking. She has to watch, the man she loves, go off with this other woman. And there's a great line where she says, I've had all the obligations of a relationship, but none of the benefits. It's like I've had all of the burdens of a relationship, but none of the joys. That's what I'm kind of getting from this energy here, guys. It's almost like maybe you work really hard and you do the things you do to get some happiness. That's the other thing. Solar plexus is about joy. It's about like that center of your chest, like the core of your aura, right? Your what do you call it? When Iron Man has his arc reactor. It's your arc reactor, right? And the root chakra, this red, actually talks about finances. It talks about your base needs, right? What I'm really kind of getting from this is I get the sense like I feel like you've had all the work and none of the play, guys. I feel like if this is a family situation, maybe you've paid all the bills, maybe you've made an effort, but but no one's friendly, no one has fun, no one no one laughs, no one invites you out, invites you over to share dinner or potluck. Or it's almost like you hold up all the responsibilities, and you hold down the fort, which is very hard on you. But you're still like an empty cracked cup. It's like, okay, where the purpose of working this hard, the purpose of working hard for a family is to have that fun, right? When you come home and you have game night, or you laugh, or someone tells you a cute story about their day, or they share things with you. I'm kind of getting like, I am getting like a sense like it's all. The other thing I kind of get is like you're working hard for base needs. Again, there's I'm sorry, not to get too psychological here, guys. I know this is a weekly energy. I'm just trying to explain the energy, this is some complex energy I'm seeing at the beginning of the week. There's a triangle called Maslow's pyramid of needs, and the bottom of the pyramid is base needs, like shelter, clothes, food, water, and then as you go up the need chain, social interaction actually kind of ranks around 3. And if you're looking at this from a chakra, that's kind of right there too, right? Feeling connected to other people. And then if you follow it straight up, the things that you do in life, your goals in life, eventually take you up to like spiritual enlightenment, right? You got root, you got shelter, food, water. Then you've got, human connection. Then you've got, your sense of purpose in the world. what I'm kind of seeing here is I just kind of feel like, again, I'm getting a strong sense of all work and no play. And I think you know it. I think you feel it. You might kind of be, yeah, I do feel like you're just kind of, you feel like you're kind of holding everything up, but it makes you feel real empty. It makes you feel real empty. Either that or other people are kind of doing that to you. Um, that's one thing I kind of see with this too, is you might have a little bit of kind of a, kind of like a stoic, and you might be in kind of a stoic environment. Maybe your family is really kind of being a pain in the butt, um, and again, you feel like you're kind of fighting. You're holding down the fort. You've got 8 other wands coming at you, but you're holding it back with one. Or you've earned all 9 of those wands through battle. I am just kind of getting a feeling like you've worked really hard to have more than just, clothes on your back and a roof over your head. You deserve more than that. Like, you deserve to actually have connections with people. But I think by the beginning of the week, it still feels a little like maybe a home environment or a work environment is just feeling like a little empty that way. Like you're trying to connect with people, but it's always a fight. It's always just holding down the fort. Or the other way I kind of read it is, again, just like Eleanor. If you ever get a chance to watch that movie, it's such a good movie. But she talks about that, about how she put all this work into it. She's keeping her silence, and she's supporting Edward, and she's supporting her family, but she's being denied the one thing that she wants, which is this loving relationship with the man that she loves. And it's like she has to go through all the other work for everybody else, but she can't just have that one connection. I think you're kind of, the other thing I'm kind of getting is, I think you're recognizing the toll that it's having on you, and I think it's kind of like a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call to kind of make yourself a priority. 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, you've invested enough. I think you're kind of taking stock. That's the other thing. 7 of Pentacles is about kind of taking stock of what you've invested in something. Is this worth it? Is this worth it? Is this ever going to give me what I need? Right? Because the purpose of life is not just, paying your rent and, coming home, grunting at your family and going to bed. It's so much more than that, right? Same thing with your job environment. If you kind of feel like, something is lacking, and that it's always kind of this battle that wears you down. But middle of the week, this is really kind of cool, guys. I'm just going to get one more card. You got the Knight of Swords, and you got the Lovers. I love these little seahorses. They're so cute. Okay, one card to clarify. 2 of Swords. Okay. Wow. The Star. Okay. What I originally got from this energy was that I got someone running up to you to have a connection. Like, again, guys, I'm getting a strong vibe, like you are like boiling under the surface to have like a heartfelt connection with someone. You really do. You want like the Lovers. You want the two tails. These almost look like they're holding hands, but the Knight of Swords if you get a chance to check out the How to Tarot, he comes in like verbally with his verbal guns blazing. Like, this is someone who, how when you've had enough, or if you have an opinion about something, the best way I can describe it is if you've ever, like, maybe, and we're all guilty of this, maybe you saw something on Facebook, about a topic that you really wanted to debate or argue, and you just go in there and you like, I know everything about this, and this is what this is about, and da-da-da-da-da. The Knight of Swords is kind of that energy. He's the Knight, and you can be a feminine in this energy, but the Knight is not polished. He's a little raw, right? And he comes rushing in and just saying what's on his mind. It's like getting, again, it's like the router's wire, except it's like running in and going, You know what I almost kind of think of? I do kind of think of that scene from it's iconic, but The Notebook. You know, when Noah and Allie, when he comes out, you know, of course they're in the rain. He's out on the pier and he's like, "I wrote to you. I wrote to you every day for a year." And she's like, "You didn't." And he's like, "Yeah, I did." You know, that's kind of like, that's the Knight of Swords energy. It's kind of like, "Yeah, I did." You know, someone rushes in and just kind of clears the air. It's big time clearing the air kind of energy. But the Two of Swords is about, and actually this is the green ribbon, which is the heart chakra, and this is the heart chakra too. But underneath this energy, I really get the sense like it's almost like you really, there's in the middle of the week, there's someone that you probably feel connected to, like someone that really feels like a partner or a lover. Um, And I kind of read this one of two ways. I think either you've been real, like, torn, like you have all these feelings underneath the surface. Um, the other thing is I'm seeing that crescent moon again. It's funny if you check out the first pile, this crescent moon, what it is by the end of this week, by Friday, the moon is going to be in that phase. It starts going back to like it gets full, which is like this the time we're filming the video, and then the first week it goes to what we call a gibbous moon, which is a little less than full. Then it gets to the last quarter moon, which is right where it's here. And the last quarter moon will be kind of like Thursday, Friday of this week that we're looking at. So I kind of read this one of two ways. You either could be really kind of torn, like it's like it's almost like you have a lot of emotions kind of boiling under the surface. The other thing I get is that, you know, the full moon is kind of the culmination, and as the moon is de-cementing, as it's going back towards new, that's a time that you usually kind of wrap up everything that's occurred in the last 2 weeks. It's not a really a good moon cycle, and I'm not saying run your love life according to the moon. I'm not telling you to do that. Actually, if this is someone that you've been talking to leading up to the full moon, because it was a strawberry moon, and the full moon was actually Cancer opposite Capricorn, Capricorn moon opposite Cancer sun, and that is such a family thing. But here, I am getting kind of like a little bit of a love declaration here. I'm just gonna see one more card here. Strength, King of Pentacles. Okay. King of Swords. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes. I'm gonna have to call it, guys. I do think if you're a woman watching this, and 98% of our viewers are, but assign the genders as they resonate. There is a guy, like I'm really seeing that scene where Noah's like, "I wrote to you every day in a year. Didn't you get any of them?" You know, I think that someone is going to be kind of breaking their silence. I think they're going to be doing it kind of suddenly. This person might be kind of talking in spurts or talking fast. It's going to be like again coming in with the verbal guns blazing, and I almost get the sense like this might be kind of impulsive, because I saw the King of Pentacles and the King of Swords, and the King of Swords, the King of Pentacles is very practical. He doesn't take action until he's ready to, and he always has a financial like offer to make. Like he's another great reader here on YouTube says he calls it the daddy's home. He's the father, he's the provider. When he shows up, he's the real deal Holyfield. He does not come empty-handed, right? He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's investing in, right? And he doesn't make bad investments. But the King of Swords really he's very strategic, and he thinks everything out. He overthinks everything out. And but both of those characters are very practical. They're very and they're not overly emotional, right? I'm not seeing it's funny. This is the Lovers, but you've got all this air underneath it. And the King of Swords really does suppress his emotions. He doesn't like being mushy. So I think that you might have you're going to have some kind of weird encounter this week, in the middle of the week, um, where a masculine is going to be approaching you. I think this person has strong feelings for you. And it's almost like there's going to be some kind of interaction that this person has with you, but I almost get that it's going to be kind of blunt and it's going to be unexpected. And it's almost going to be like this person's emotions kind of squishing out a little bit. Like this person keeps their emotions in check all the time, but you're gonna have some kind of moment of connection where this person's going to say something. You know what I'm also getting is also kind of like from that love story moment, maybe someone kind of blurts something out. And it's going to be kind of, I honestly get the feeling like someone wants to know what's up with you. Seven of Cups. Yeah. Yeah, this person feels a little confused. Like they want to know where you're at, like what you're doing. This person might really want to know, like, I know this sounds funny. I get the sense of someone kind of running up to you, and having kind of like a real connective moment, like you feeling like a love connection, but it's not going to be like a love story, kind of like a love movie. It's almost going to be kind of blunt, and this person is going to be expressing themselves at a in a they're going to be expressing feelings which are not comfortable for them. So they're going to be saying it, kind of expressing these feelings in almost like a direct, kind of blunt way. And again, I'm seeing that scene from the Notebook where he's like, "I wrote to you every day for 365 days." It's like going to be factual like that. And what the person is doing is they're trying to flesh out, do you care about them? Um, so I do think that you're going to have like this love moment. The other thing I get is that it's going to be when the moon looks like this, like the last quarter moon. It's going to be like around that time, and and I'd say just look for it. The other thing I get is that it's going to be kind of unexpected, and again, it's not going to be like real lovey-dovey. It's going to be like this person kind of spouting facts at you, and if you read between the lines, they're really kind of confessing a lot of love towards you, and they're going to I'm kind of hearing, I'm sorry, I'm quoting so much pop culture today. Will you be my lobster? Will you be my seahorse? Um, but it's not going to be like your traditional romantic gesture. It's not going to be like Lloyd Dobler with the boombox. It's going to be like, "Hey, you, I wrote you every day for this many, what's going on? What's going on?" But please also just bear in mind, this person thinks a lot. They're showing up as like the King of Pentacles, the King. This is a self-made person. This is someone who does not take action lightly. And what's happening here is because they're and this could be your energy too. This might happen from you to someone else. But I'm really getting more like it's going to happen. It's going to happen to you. This person is very cerebral. They're not mushy. They don't lose control emotionally. And this exchange is going to be them expressing their emotions through words, and it's going to be I think it's going to make them feel overwhelmed because they're not used to talking about how they feel. So it might feel a little stilted. Again, it's going to be awkward conversation, but I do think you're gonna read between the lines and know that they're expressing themselves lovingly to you, and I think you're going to make them feel comfortable. But the other thing is, try not to make this person. I don't think it'll be difficult because this person is coming in armed. They're coming in like Knight of Swords. So. Let me just check. I want just one other. Ace of Cups. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. There you go. Winner, winner. Yeah. Someone is really going to be kind of expressing themselves, and I don't think that you'll make them feel uncomfortable. I think you really will. You know. I always think of those kind of scenes, where the woman is standing there. Oh, one other scene that really talks about this a lot. If you've ever seen Anna Karenina, but it's the Alicia Vikander's character in that movie. There's a farmer who proposes to her. That's that kind of combination. The farmer who, that's perfect. That actually plays into that. Okay, if you have any questions about how this energy will manifest, check out the Keira Knightley version of Anna Karenina, the Alicia Vikander, I always say her name wrong, character. Her name is Kitty, and there's a farmer who proposes marriage to her. Their interactions. That's how I'm getting this. That's it. That's totally it. That's. But end of the week, guys. I'm sorry. This is running long. I didn't expect it to be. You can see I'm feeling better. That's good. I need to drink more of my good tea. But end of the week, you've got Justice. You got the Nine of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and this Hermit really, really wanted to come out. So I am kind of getting a little different energy. Again, if you're in North America, if you're in the United States, the end of the week is going right into the 4th of July Independence Day holiday. So what I can kind of see with this is that first off, you see Justice. That could quite very well be like Lady Liberty. That could be a total sign of 4th of July. But what I'm kind of seeing here is, what I'm really seeing here, guys? Justice is the number 11 card, and I love this rendition of it because it's actually kind of a Mayan. I think it's a Mayan belief. It's a little gruesome, but they always said that you know if a person, man or woman, lived a good life, like an honest life, if their heart is lighter than a feather. And that's kind of like just saying, do you have any karma on your soul, right? Did you live, did you live your life without cheating anyone, right? Did you live your life, because what you see is you see a heart and a feather that are equal, balanced, right? So, and underneath it we have the Hermit, which is a cute little sloth. I think you're going to have like a really kind of relaxing weekend. I'm not so much seeing your suitor from the middle of the week. I'm just curious, well, okay, how is our suitor? Is our suitor going to be there? Okay. Wheel of Fortune. Oh my gosh, that's the second time the Wheel of Fortune. And that talks about karma. The Magician. Wow, you got a lot of majors here, guys. And here we got another feather. But I think over the weekend, you're really going to just kind of be pulling into yourself. I also think that you're going to be feeling kind of sloth-like. Like, I think I do see that, it is summertime, so maybe not wearing a hoodie unless you're inside and the AC is real kicking. But I think you're going to be doing kind of intellectual projects. Like maybe you'll be writing or journaling, or if you are on TikTok or YouTube or something like that, you might be doing something on social media. The other thing that I kind of get here is that the Nine of Pentacles talks about like financial independence, and the Queen of Swords is a very independent woman, right? I feel like you're going to be manifesting a lot this weekend, and I know that sounds so woo-woo for a holiday weekend, but what I'm really kind of seeing is I see you kind of doing like intellectual pursuits. I do see you, I love seeing the Hermit, because the Hermit really is about like kind of pulling within yourself to find answers. And I love the fact that it's a sloth, because have you ever had those weekends? I always call them do nothing days, where you get up and the day is all yours. right? And with the Nine of Pentacles, it's like, okay, do I want to go here for coffee? Do I want to go here for lunch? Do I want to do this today? The day is carte blanche for however you want to use it. But I feel like you're so productive in the things, like I feel like your free time, especially over a holiday weekend, isn't wasted at all. Like not even close. Like you see how your heart is light as a feather. I just get the sense like, and honestly, we're getting a lot of justice themes here too, because the Queen of Swords is like an echo of justice, and then you got justice. Um, Also, one other way I can kind of read this is that you might be kind of um, just feeling kind of independent over the weekend, and and it's I'm getting like that sense like no one can judge you for your independence. Like you've earned your I'm hearing Destiny's Child, independent woman. Like the rings on my hand, I bought them. The car in my driveway, I bought that. All the ladies, throw your hands up at me. Like all the women are making money. Throw your hands up at me. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. Is that the other thing I kind of get is that I think that you spend your free time, like your weekends, doing something either intellectually. Maybe you lecture, um, or you contribute to something with your voice. Um, Maybe you do research for someone, or you just do something on the side. I almost get kind of intellectual. The one thing I do get from the Hermit is that the Hermit kind of pulls. He goes up to the mountaintop to reflect on all of his experiences. So sometimes, I know this sounds dorky, but I like to scrapbook, and I like to do that too, because sometimes keeping books, and I've seen like creative journals have been real popular, travel journals. It's almost like you're writing things down or doing something in your sweatpants, like in the privacy of your own home. um, you're doing whatever pleases you, and whatever pleases you is really intellectual. So again, I like to journal a lot. Like in my scrapbooks, I like to relay the story of what happened. Maybe keep a scrapbook of world events. um, the other thing with the pentacles is that maybe you do something for a good cause. Like I can also see this combination of being like you doing something like pro bono. Like if you're a lawyer, maybe you write up some paperwork or research some kind of case for someone and don't charge them because you already got enough. And again, I'm just kind of seeing it in your sweatpants. The other thing I also get is that you might be taking your time, like this, whatever you're working on, you don't have to rush. You don't have to rush. Um, and then the Wheel of Fortune and the Magician, I just feel like whatever it is that you're doing, this independence that you have, I think you do serve other people. And by serving other people, or just by being you, like I'm getting like a strong sense of just being you. Because the Hermit is also strong in himself. He knows where he's been. He knows what you know. He that star leads him, right. It's like inner guidance. Um, but I do think that whatever it is that you're doing over the weekend, and again, all this liberty could be like Fourth of July kind of energy. Um, One other way I can kind of read this too is that even if you might have like a few overtures, like you might have someone that you're kind of connecting to romantically, over the weekend, I do think that you're going to be kind of a free agent. And again, you have a light heart. You have a light heart, um, and no one can judge you for what you do, right? Um, but I do think with this many majors, um, you know, I do get a strong sense like you're going to be working on something. Um, One other way I can kind of read this is that maybe you have the free time to kind of work on nonprofit causes, like causes, things that are important to people, like a good cause, a cause that really needs attention. Um, this could be something that you like to do when you were younger, or something that really, that you're reflecting on the past about. And but the Wheel of Fortune and the Magician really kind of, because the other thing is that Justice is 11, Wheel of Fortune is 10, and Magician is 1, which together is 11. Um, yeah, I really get the sense like whatever it is that you like, however it is that you express yourself, this it really is going to take you far. Like it's going to be good karma for you. It's going to turn you in a direction of luck. The other thing it's kind of saying is that I'm drawn to say this, guys, and I know this sounds funny, but this is the all-seeing eye, and then this is like a feather of protection. I really get the sense that whatever it is that you do, if you have some kind of haters or somebody who's trying to harsh on you for how you are, because the Queen of Swords can sometimes be a little bit, she's deemed the chilly lady, like she can be a little cold, sometimes, but she's she's not heartless, but she knows her own mind. But what I'm kind of seeing here is that you see people wear amulets that are called like the evil eye, and what it is it protects you from any negative energy. But one thing about the eye amulets is that they protect you from negative energy from other people. Like if someone is hating on you, if someone's sending negative vibes your way, and you don't deserve that negative vibes, when you're just throwing them on someone, like if you just don't like someone and you're saying talking crap about them, or even thinking it, because energy follows thought, that energy just comes back on you, right? It comes back threefold as karma, because if you're sending bad energy, if you are the originator of the bad energy, it comes back on you because that's where it's sourced from. Now, what I'm kind of seeing here is whatever it is that you work on, even if it's legal, like if it's, I'm getting the sense like it might be some kind of cause. Like for me, I have my environmental channel, and sometimes I, talk about stuff like about how we want to get off single-use plastics, and that's kind of controversial, right? The way that we use gas, the way that we use fossil fuels. So again, it's almost like saying that you have whatever it is that you're passionate about, that you put your time into. There's no what you're doing is a justice to other people, and you're doing it from a good place in your heart. Like you're not incurring any bad karma. You're serving others. You might be doing it slowly and in your sweatpants, but that energy puts good karma on you, and it protects you. It's like the universe knows that you're doing good for others. So whatever projects that you're working on this weekend, I really get the sense like you're using your holiday weekend to, like, I don't know, make educational YouTube videos, to do fun TikToks for kids who are bored at home during the summer. I don't know, like, you're manifesting great stuff, and it's almost like the universe has a protective eye. There's no flies on you. This independence, people might say, oh, she's so cold, she's so this. There's no flies on you. Your heart is as light as a feather. All of your karma is good karma. And if anybody's sending negative to you, that's going to bounce back to them. And it's almost like you don't even have to wear an eye, because the universe has you. The other thing I kind of get is when you see feathers. When you see feathers, you're protected. And it's because you're doing good in the world, and it serves your spiritual purpose, right? Maybe you might be a Libra, but I hope that makes sense, guys. I know that's weird for a weekend. I see you really kind of chilling, and I think it's like do nothing days, but do nothing days to you are very productive, and I get the sense like you serve others, like you uphold justice. I know that sounds crazy, but you uphold justice, and you do it from a very wise heart space too. You're also very articulate. Like, you sum it up pretty quickly. And oh wow, guys, you got Jackie Kennedy. Oh, Jackie Kennedy. And look, that's the White House. That's like, you know, nation's capital, Washington, D.C. I don't know. Maybe if you are a lawyer, if you're in the District of Columbia, maybe you're looking at fireworks this weekend. I don't know. The top of Horus kind of looks like stars in the sky. But Jackie Kennedy, it says, make manners your make manners your most important accessory. Pearls are always appropriate. Be first lady of your own Camelot. Oh my gosh, be first lady of your own Camelot. Oh, I love that. That is very Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. You know, you can be your you know. The other thing that's beautiful about Jackie Kennedy is not only was she incredibly stylish, but she was an editor at a magazine. She was very Queen of Swords. Now, she had like a Leo rising, but I think she was sun sign Leo. Of course, she had an impeccable sense of style. The other thing is I am getting kind of like a Leo Libra. Like, I think you dress really well, or you dress elegantly. Even when you're not trying. I think even when you're in your sweatpants, you look great. But make manners your most important accessory. That is something I kind of see with this combination too, because the Nine of Pentacles is a very cultured lady, and the Queen of Swords is good with words. Like, she's diplomatic. So, and Jackie Kennedy was always like that too. She could sum up something. If you want to Google some of Jackie Kennedy's quotes, wow, she was able. Because again, she loved the written word. Like, she was an editor for magazines in New York. Like, she was a very smart woman. Very smart woman. She was not just like arm candy, not even close. And she had that impeccable sense of style. But pearls are always appropriate. Oh, and you know what? I was about to put. I have a set of double pearl that I got at the beach that I usually pair with this deck, but the Shiva shell just looks so great too. But pearls are always so classic, and honestly, really great leaders wear pearls. And you know, it's funny, Horus here looks like he has pearls on too. Isn't that crazy? But like, if you look at Queen Elizabeth, she always has a strand of 3 pearls, and Jackie Kennedy. I actually have a very sweet co-worker who always wears her pearls. Like, and it's just it's ladylike and it's classy, right? You know, Libra. One, we'll leave off on this and then I'll stop blabbing. But Libra, actually, there's a saying in astrology. They call it Libra women, because they're so. They're so cooperative, but they're very, just like any of the sword suit, they've got minds like a steel trap. So most Libra women are they refer to them as the iron hand in the velvet glove, which really means that, you know, on the outside there's a very, you know, it's soft how things are delivered, but behind that is a lot of firm resolve. So you know, and if you look at Jackie Kennedy, she was like that too. She had that soft-spoken voice, but she knew exactly what to do and how to do it and how to run things. So, and I think that's wonderful, guys. I swear, by the weekend, whatever it is you're doing, maybe you're editing the magazine. That's possible too. But I'm getting an influencer too. That's the other thing I'm getting. It's like influencer either through social media or the written word, or things that can be seen online. But wow, guys, oh gosh, I feel better. I still feel a little woozy, but gosh, you know what it is? It must be getting into your energies, and it's always an honor to read your cards. It kind of gets me out of my head. I don't have to think about my tummy. But I hope, I thank you so much for checking out my channel. I do want to thank all of my new subscribers. I do read the comments and I see when new watchers subscribe. I'm very, very grateful. There are so many great readers here on YouTube, and I have a small following, and I love my subscribers so very much, and I am so grateful for you following my channel. So Thank you for that. And I hope everyone has a great week. If you're in the US, I hope you have a great holiday weekend. And we will cover that next week as well. But I'll see you in the next video. Bye.